minutes left. Okay, guys. So testing, 1, 2, 3. I hope the sound is okay.
Hello,
I
hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's all right. Yeah.
We find out which one's which.
I think that's Jeremy and that's myself. Yeah. Great.
Testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. So once
Testing,
again, final
testing.
preparation of the sound. Thank you guys for letting us know about the difference in microphone level.
Команда готова к построению. So teams are ready to start.
Just feel free to comment once again if any one of us is high or low in terms of volume during the live feed. Thank you. We're just about to start. Okay, guys, so we are going live. Thanks for your patience, if you were patient. Once again, like the days before, here we are to help you watching, or just to disturb you a little bit. It's Mikhail Kablukov and Jeremy Jones. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Michael. Looking forward to a incredible day 3 here.
Yeah, sure, no doubt. And I think the majority of our viewers are hoping for the same result as of last year when they all came to the decider, to the deciding match. All right. So we're going to start with some stats. Jeremy, that's a pretty interesting figures. You see, we didn't count the opening match of this challenge, like 5 versus 5. So you see, some results are pretty surprising. Well, you see Ruslan Chinakov losing all his 3 appearances actually. And it is Konstantin Stepanov who is trying to pull his team through so far.
Yeah, Konstantin. I actually watched him at the Kremlin Cup, and I thought he was playing solid there. I couldn't pay attention to him the entire tournament, but I haven't got to see him play in a while. But he certainly has played well here, and I think it was that long 9 ball. I don't know if you remember early when his partner kicked the 8 in the side. He made one incredible 9 ball off the end rail and hadn't really looked back since.
Well, I'm sure Ruslan is looking forward to improve today.
Oh, well, you expect that. And, Ruslan, you might say, as far as when it comes to titles, he's their strongest player.
So now you see it's Team USA. And once again, these are Billy Thorpe and Skylar Woodward so far who didn't lose a single match, sorry. And Shane McMinn and Oscar Dominguez definitely have to improve in this department.
Yeah. I wouldn't say either one of them played poorly. Sometimes just like 9 ball pool, that's the way it goes. Just like Ruslan, 0-3 in all of his matches.
Oh, yeah, sure. And after all, you have to take into consideration that the races are pretty short, like a race to 5 at a pro level. So just it could have been other way around.
Absolutely.
But still, it is like it is, and we're going into this final day being all square, 5 apiece.
Yeah, it's a race to 4 matches from here. And just like any team sports, sometimes you have one guy excelling at that time, and you just look forward to taking care of your chances.
Yeah, so here you have it, the schedule for our final day. We're going to start with 2 double matches, then 1 single and double again. So we're hoping to know which will be the captain's picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if it goes hill, just like last year. Goes right to that last match. Will be a captain's pick between Johan and Alan. Should be interesting if it goes that far.
Okay, that's right. So we're ready to start, guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the day.
Добрый вечер. Я Анастасия Лупова. Рада всех приветствовать в бильярдном клубе «База». Dream Challenge 2018. Самое захватывающее зрелище по американскому пулу. Мы думали, что разгар страстей был вчера, но сегодня разыграются самые настоящие страсти. Hello, I'm Anastasia Lupova. I'd like to greet pool fans all over the globe on Dream Challenge 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, you are really welcomed on Baza Arena, Moscow, Russia. So, and this is outstanding heel match of great teams. So let's greet them. Team Russia! Team USA, led by Johan Rusing.
We keep marching ourselves.
Go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
Dear coaches, please, for a short interview. So what I want to say that actually there is no questions, no comments, because it's a great heel-heel match. We just want to know, what do you feel right here and right now?
Well, a little bit nervous because we got to win the day, and if we win the day, we win the cup. It's as simple as that.
I think anyway we will beat them. No comments. I was wrote by Viber the long message during online to the billiard guys. I hope they already have it, so everything be fine.
Johan, can you tell something to your fans to cheer them up?
Support us and support us tonight, but support us also in December. We are ready, and I hope that you will all cheer us on big time.
And something to your fans?
Yeah, I would like to be very thankful to the fans because Russia is a very big country, so we have great support from other, different regions from the Russia. So, thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Please join your teams. Team Russia, are you ready? Yes. Team USA, are you ready? Our broadcasting team ready? Perfect. So, our referee in charge, please welcome Boris Paluch and Shane Van Boening, Shane McMinn, first double match, and Konstantin Stepanov and Maxim Dudanets. So, your applause. Yeah, let's start. Show your best pool, guys.
All right, so thank you very much, our host for the evening, Anastasia Lupova, as usual, former Russian Pyramid pro player. So once again, it is Team USA winning the leg.
Yeah, and that one was hard to beat. Yeah. We've got two Shanes going for Team America right there, Shane McMinn and Shane Van Boening. And Stepanov and Dudanets. Dudanets looking to, repair the mistakes, the big mistake last night in the last match. But that happens.
Well, I'll be hoping this doesn't cost them the title, the trophy.
Well, you can't look at that one ball, It's just like heel-heel. Everybody always remembers the heel-heel game. But there's a lot of games that lead up to heel-heel. I'll be interested to see how Mosconi Cup hopeful rookie Shane McMinn, he's been around SVB a lot, but he's never got to play in such a situation, partners with him. It's always been against him. Okay, great opening break there. Hit really, really solid. And you're looking at a 2-8 combination that he's going to shoot at with the 5 being there. He's got a big pocket. Or he may be able to play the 2 by the 8 off the 5. That may be the shot. 2 off the rail into the 5. A little more concerned with the cue ball if you shoot it that way because you'll have to cut the 2 ball a little thinner, Michael.
Well, the 5 ball, I believe, makes the pocket bigger.
Oh, absolutely. I think they have to be offensive here, whether it's a 2-8 combination or the 2. I think the 2 off the rail off the 5 is definitely the shot. You can draw the cue ball around the 9 that way, or maybe even into the 9.
In this case, the 2 ball is going to end up on the rail, the short rail.
Yeah, no, he's going to make the 2, I believe, like that. Yeah, and draw into the 9 ball. That was natural. Nice opening shot. And really, you can't ask for more to open day 3 if you're Team USA. You got the best American player probably for the last 10 years as a whole, shooting at a pretty easy 3-ball. Now you got the 4 and the 5 in the corner. You can see the 7-8 are real handy.
Well, in my opinion, in terms of being the leader of the team, Shane has got to improve in this department. I mean, like being a good team player is totally different to being a good individual.
Well, I think. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's an early miss by Shane McMinn.
Yeah, and that's a shot that again played with the side spin. You have the deflection on the cue ball, so. Players really have to learn to stay away from the side spin unless it's totally necessary.
Well, once again, Shane Boening has to deal with the extra pressure that his partner is carrying right now. So just try to help him here somehow.
Right. Extension called, and this is one gentleman here, Stepanov, that has made every tough shot, pretty much.
Yeah, he's shooting to the right corner, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger pocket, very natural to draw over for position for the 7.
Well, but it is a blind pocket at the same time.
Yes.
Really, I would have gone for the left corner.
Well,
just trying to hold the cue ball off the side rail.
Yeah, he had a little angle there, though, so... Shane McMinn, he's got to realize that position isn't as key, meaning he tried to put inside English on that 4-ball, trying to gain a little bit better position where that's not as necessary. Now a simple 9 in the side, even though we know the diamond tables, the side pockets are quite tricky.
So an opening reg goes to Team Russia.
First match of the day is always huge, but I think looking at the lineup for the entire day, the first 3 matches, I think it's very huge here in day 3.
Yeah, no doubt. And in regard with the overall score, of course,
oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
even might be twice as important.
Yeah, you grab the lead, and you know, 9-ball pool is a lot about pressure.
Well, you know, actually, Johan Rusing told me today that. By the end of the second day, he was ready to accept his team trailing like 2 points, like being
6-4,
6-4 down. Yeah.
Oh, the ones.
Watch the 9. Watch the 9.
And that's our 3rd golden break, I think.
And the second by Stepanov, I believe.
Yeah, and that's that punishment for missing that 4-ball. The pool gods are always watching, Michael.
Well, after all, Team Russia is playing at home, so the pool gods, I think, are bound to favor them just a little bit. Oh, that's a big break coming from Shane McMinn.
Yeah, and that's almost, well, it got a couple kisses there.
But anyway, the way the 9-ball drifted towards the corner, just it was kind of supposed to end up nearby.
Okay, he's made one. The one's on a nice track. He's going to start off with an easy one.
Yeah, that's a good break.
We'll see if the 2 gets open, though. It appears it has a pocket by the 5.
Yeah, it does.
It's tight, though. And you'll notice position on the 2 isn't too tricky because the 3's over the side.
And it is Shane McMinn who will be shooting the blue 2.
Yeah. And if it's tight, we'll see if that miss in game 1 weighs on his mind at all. Okay, he's looking at this angle to see if he can maybe draw behind the 2, maybe. I don't know.
Well, all you do here is a kind of a stop shot.
Yeah, he's got to hold it a little bit. He's got to hold it a little bit. He's got a little bit of an angle. He's got to watch out for the 4 ball. He'll be queuing over the 4. We are playing all ball fouls, so.
Yeah, so technically this shot is not a problem, but well, the path of the ball is very important.
Okay, so you could tell he didn't have an entire
he
pocket.
He cheated the pocket just a little.
Right.
Well, you know, in case there are some balls that block the part of the pocket, I've been told that one of the ways to play is just to pretend the blocking ball is not there.
Well,
just so that it doesn't draw your attention too much, because in case you pay too much attention, you kind of drive the object ball into this direction, you know?
Yeah, I've always told people in the way I was taught that you have to give it, of course, a good look, of course, but then there's not really an aiming point to half a pocket. You have to trust what you're looking at, and then don't quiver on the stroke. Just like shooting a combination, you give it a good look, right? But there's not really that dead aiming point. You have to deliver the stroke. Okay, nice shot there. And Shane, I'll tell you, I've been around him now a lot, of course, being a part of the team. And I said it yesterday, I think he's actually improved his game. And I think he's become a better player.
Oh, that's great.
Such a hard worker. Talking about SVB.
Well, and I think Johan Ruising has to do something about this one.
Yes, but Shane, we've kind of let he's a little bit different fundamentally than what you might say is textbook. So we kind of let him work on his own a little bit, but he helps the guys a lot mentally and little things in the game, position play, and he's safety play and kicking at the balls. A lot of people don't realize how well-rounded of a player he is.
Well, it amazed me in the past when he learned one pocket in about a year.
Well,
he wasn't playing this game at all, and then all of a sudden he's a top finisher at the Derby City.
Right.
And I asked him about this one, and he just replied that he wasn't taught anything by anyone. He was just trying to observe the game, and just so you see how gifted this player is.
Yeah, and it's
being able to learn one pocket basically on his own.
Right. Well, that's the best way to learn it, actually, is playing people. So hours spent. I mean, you can watch and learn it, but until you feel what's going on, just like any pool game, it really doesn't absorb. Okay, what's the
very
2 ball
beautiful break shot by Maxim Dudanets.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get a pocket. Oh, it looks like he is.
Pocket, yeah.
I didn't know if I thought the 8 might get in the way. He's going to have to elevate the cue maybe a hair.
Well, right now I think that's quite an open rack.
Very open. Very, very open. I don't know if he elevate with this. He may be able to just roll it in, right? Just a nice soft roll for a little bit of a cut on the 3.
Well, I think right now Costa is choosing between just making this ball and or
he's punching it.
Yeah,
he's coming down.
Giving the best position available.
He might play short side here. Doesn't want to hit the 9. That's for sure. Okay, nice shot.
Going around the ball, just brushed it a little.
Good. Well, he's maybe going towards the corner here, so he may have to manufacture a little bit here, whether that be drawn to the 9.
Yeah, still the position zone for the 4 is pretty big.
Yeah, but if you shoot from distance, now he's got to get around on the 5 a little bit, Michael. So there's some concern here for sure. If he can't naturally come to the bottom rail, catching 2 rails and out, there's definitely some concern. You may have to go with low inside English, which should be low right English. Okay, he feels like he can get to the bottom rail. We'll see. He can. Nice shot. Nice shot, which brings him much closer to the 4. Oh, but he's elevated now. Ooh. And a little bit off angle.
Yeah, that's even worse than the shot on the 2.
Right. He would like to get just out for the 5 in the corner, because you see the 6 is nice and handy for the 5. So going forward is a little touchy too. So you may just have to slide over.
He's going to draw it back.
In between the 8 and the 6, I believe. Just draw it over, basically. Like so. And I'll tell you what, He looks the most comfortable out of any player, maybe between both teams.
No wonder he is the only one who was like winning all the matches, all three.
Right. But in solid fashion, you know, there wasn't much of course, everybody's made mistakes, but he's made a lot of incredible shots. Oh, now that's going to dive down a little bit. Okay, so he's going to have to check the cue ball up right here, or maybe just coast past in between the 8 and 9.
Yeah, sure, and just opting for the corner.
Right. Oh, he held it. Nice shot. So that first rack with the miss on the 4, it may take that miss may take this match out of the Americans' hand. Oh, wow.
Costa looked pretty puzzled with this one. All Team Russia manages to maintain 2-rack lead. Oh, you don't see Ruslan giving high fives to this duo.
Watch this 8. Got a lot more of the rail than he wanted. Ooh.
Oh, he overcut it.
Yeah. That was just trying to get a little better position that was not needed.
And you don't want to mess with the side pockets on the diamond table that much.
No. Belt was a little bit older. That ball might have stood up. Okay, broken perfect.
One is
What's
down.
going to happen with the 2? He's thin. He's thin on the 2, but very doable. I think he has to play the side pocket.
And has to avoid the 4 ball.
Yeah, and the balls are breaking quite nice. So if that's any indication on how the day is going to go, we're going to see a lot of runs. Yeah, he's thin here. He's looking at if he can bank, but he can't really bank it and play safe and shape at the same time. That's the problem. The 6 is in the way.
Oh, don't forget that the push out is always there.
Yeah, but you're definitely not pushing out when you can see this. So he might either go for the side. I think the side's fine. I think he's close enough. Oh my, golly, there's that.
Well, what about pushing out in an open position just to try to dare your opponent?
Yeah, but he wasn't going for the bank at all there. He was just trying to draw up on the 7 and.
Well, guys, this match has a long way to go, I believe, but please don't be too harsh on Shane McMinn in any case.
Yeah, he's really just a little out of sorts with the table.
Well, first of all, he is part of the US team, so I'm just trying to ask the US pool fans to be gentle and forgiving.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fall short here. And that's a little bit of what he's done, and that's kind of what I anticipated, that I would have swung a little deeper into the corner and taken a little more distance on the 5 rather than trying to come 2 rails in closer to the 5. Remember, the pocket size here isn't what we're playing with. It's really having to shoot shots with the side spin that's where I believe will cause misses. Oh, he's going past the 9 here, it appears. I don't think he's drawing it. Wow.
Yeah, 3 rails around.
Ooh. Nice shot.
Well, he kind of spoiled the position of the 8 ball, but he's okay.
Yeah, good thing the 9's kind of available, or else the 8 would become much more difficult.
Yeah, and good thing that the 8 didn't end up on
the point.
On the point, right? Correct.
Oh, This might get close to the 7. This could make things a little funny here. He's got a little bit of an angle that's falling towards this rail.
Well, the cross side bank is on.
Yeah.
If you like it.
Oh, he can go directly to the 8. Okay. He's okay.
There's a draw shot.
Yeah.
Quite a deep one.
And that's what I mean as far as the 9's very accessible. If the 9 was over on the other side rail or something like that, that makes things much more dicey.
So the Russian pair is on the hill, leading 4-1.
Not too happy of faces there by both of the American chains. So now they'll have to dodge a couple of breaks for sure. The Russians will have at least 2 breaks to win the match.
Yeah, to capitalize on.
One's coming towards the corner. It's going to fall. So,
Yeah,
and the 2 gets kicked. So it's going to end up nice here. A little bit of a distance on the 2 ball, but
yeah, that's a perfect last touch.
Definitely playable.
Perfect last touch by the 4 ball.
Yeah, and he can go right in between the 4-9 with the cue ball. He may bump the 3 coming out, but that should be okay. Definitely better to bump the 3 than bump one of these other balls going around. So he doesn't want to contact the 9. That will open up a scratch in this corner pocket. Oh, he came short, and that's a nice shot. And that shot right there should really take this first match.
Managed to find the angle, the proper angle on this one. Just to drift across slightly. Using a stand shot. Kind of a stand roll. Or maybe even with the help of the rail. Which one do you prefer? Jeremy?
No, I like that.
Because like I heard about a friend that he would like to use the rail on every given situation. If it is possible, just to maybe go 1 or even 2 rails instead.
Yeah,
of
it's a
just
reference. Gives you a nice feeling, you know.
like maybe even more room for error, like striking it a little bit harder?
Yeah, just the timing of everything becomes a little easier. And it's a natural way to play. Most of the time, whenever you have that, it just gives you a better feeling about the shot. These Russians, these two young Russians were Constantine.
Yeah, so
not the youngest of them.
Yeah, seals the deal. That was a pretty quick one. We're going to have a 7-minute break and be back.
Seven minutes break. Перерыв 7 минут. 3 minutes left. 3 минуты до начала матчей. Dear players, please take your seats. Прошу игроков пройти в зону для объявления матча. Is Dream Challenge 2018 final day and our second match doubles. Please greet our participants from USA, Deuel and Michel Ellerman, Sergey Lutsker and Andrei Seroshtan. Good luck, guys.
All right, we are back live from Moscow, Russia. Baza pool hall. That's the second Dream Challenge ever. Once again, Team USA versus Team Russia. This event is a part of the American team preparation for the Mosconi Cup. And I know this year it's a pretty extensive one. I mean, the preparation. So just after this finishes, you are going to take a part in the Euro Tour in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Are you going to play?
Eindhoven.
Are you going to play yourself?
Yes. Yes, my first Euro Tour.
That's nice.
Yeah, and speaking of the Mosconi Cup,
Go ahead and scare these Europeans.
That's right. The Mosconi Cup will be at Alexandra Palace in London, England.
Oh, you know, I remember
December 4th through the 7th.
I remember Monica Webb played a couple of times on Women Euro Tour, and I think she won both.
Right.
Yeah.
Strong player, Monica. Been a strong player for a long time. Now the Euros back out, excuse me, not the Euros, the Russians back out to the lead here at 6-5. The Americans have had only one lead in this Dream Challenge. balls are breaking nice, and we saw that in the opening match. So again, expect a lot of runs today with open shots after the break. Don't expect many dry breaks. Wow, that's squatting the cue ball there.
And that's how you are supposed to break a 9-ball, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty nice there.
Little
No.
left spin, though.
Yeah, but that's kind of natural a little bit coming from that side. Now this shot's a little bit difficult because it's close to the rail. Now he'll probably want to go 2 rails.
These guys have spent many hours practicing these 2-rail routes, across the table and hitting. Like Johan Russing taught them back in the day, is like hitting the rail between the side pocket and the nearest diamond.
Right. There, well, the center of the table is the one place you play a lot of pool from. And the one good thing about the center of the table, Michael, is it makes you kind of make the same stroke a lot. That's the beauty of playing like that. You're not varying the stroke too often.
Just get me right, I was talking about that I was driving to that Sergey wasn't lucky not scratching, but this was a pretty controlled shot.
Oh, absolutely. They might be a little straight on the 4, so they're going to have a little discussion, knowing that they'll have to shoot the 5 and go into the 9. But with the 7 being there, the 7 up in the upper corner is not that tough. We'll have to see where the 9 gets moved to. Okay, now he just brought him a little closer to it, and that's a smart play.
Yeah, I would have even stopped it and just used the 9-ball just once again to draw the cue ball. Back a little, we've been talking about this a little yesterday, like using the object balls.
Oh, absolutely.
As if they were rails.
Right. And I would just hold here. I wouldn't try to go forward myself. You could. But you could, if you catch the 9 a little fat, you could end up on the side rail. Oh, all right, nice shot there. Oh.
And the 9-ball is almost down. Extension is called there.
And I think he got called an extension to use his extension on his cue. So just a little hardware.
But it took him about only 20 seconds to make the shot.
Well, I'll tell you, just like in regular tournaments, you get 1 timeout per match. And I've always said that if you don't find a place to use your timeout, no matter if the match is going good or not, I think you should always use your timeout. There's always a good place to find it, whether you're in the lead, behind, whatever. Like we say in American football, a coach that ends the game with all 3 of his timeouts is a bad coach.
That's an interesting observation.
And now Russia putting a lot of pressure here on Deuel and Ellerman. Very concerned, Johan. And I don't blame him.
Well, German right now, having worked with Johan Rusing, can you say that now you know the reason this man was responsible for winning for Team Europe back in the days?
Oh, absolutely. And, you got to give the players credit, of course. You got to get out there and do it, but he definitely sent them in a better direction. And that's a lot of what professional sports is, because you have the talent, obviously. So it's a lot about motivation, discipline, and direction. So now a nice, easy starter on the 1. He's going to draw out of here. Now the cue ball draws easily. Okay, kind of punched it. Didn't get the most out of that, that's for sure. All right, so Corey's going to have to move the cue ball a little bit here. Keep it simple. Okay, nice shot there. Very nice. Especially being your opening shot besides the break.
Corey's been here like about 3 hours already, I think, at Baza Place, warming up.
Yeah, and Corey's been in Russia quite a few times, so he's very comfortable here. I've been rooming with Corey all week, and he really likes it. So do I. It's been a grand time.
I think it were both Corey and Tyler Styer coming here first.
Really?
On this day.
Oh, you mean, yeah, to warm up today, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't have to draw back much, maybe 1.5 feet. Okay, he's probably going to play this with a top inside English coming around the 9. 3 rails. And yeah, top right.
Well, he's aiming low.
Well, he's kind of hit down on the ball, and that makes the English bite a little bit more off the rail. So pretty much pure side spin. And a pretty routine 9 ball, even though he's stretched. And really, in my opinion, a big break and run right there. Because Russia is definitely building some momentum.
Well, Shane Boening right now is going to wait at least 3 more matches in order to come back to the table if needed.
Well, we'd like to make sure that happens, that's for sure.
In the singles match.
Yeah, we have our first singles of the day with Tyler Styer playing Fedor Gorst in our next match.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Both young and pretty sound in terms of fundamentals. I think I heard that Tyler Styer is called the best technician on the team.
Well, yeah, as far as the dynamics and the technique, especially the technique that Johan prefers, and I believe that's, in my opinion, that's most of the same things I teach. That Tyler has more of that naturally. So now our first really odd shot on the 1 ball here in day 3. This is one offensive is you can cut it down the rail. It's a difficult shot. You can bank it cross side.
Well, cutting it down the rail is difficult, I think, to hold the cue ball properly.
Yeah, you may. I think you could come across the table just for the 2 in the same corner, or the 2 goes in both corners, so you can just hit it with a little top right. We'll see. The problem is the safety is difficult here, so he may just bank the 1 past the 2-7 like this. But see, the thing is here, if you don't get the snooker, you're going to be behind the 6 after this shot. So professional pool, this is not a very good shot overall. Sometimes you're forced to play a shot like this, but overall, you know you have way the worst of it.
Well, of course, the whole idea behind this was not leaving an open shot on the 1.
Yeah,
but you miss here or there.
Corey shouldn't get fooled by this long rail bank. I know he can go into the 7 with the cue ball, but really the safety is definitely the play here behind the 6. You're going to leave probably a little bit of air if you go for the bank and miss.
You could even opt for a kick on the 1, but the 1 ball is a little bit too far from the rail.
Yeah.
I think it was a bank.
Yeah. And again, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, the 8 ball got tied up.
Yeah, but it's not going to be tied up for long. You can see that it looks like if you shoot the 1 in, it's naturally going into the 8-9 and not in a bad way either. I'm wondering if Andre is, if he's telling him to play safe behind the 8-9 here. I wouldn't. This young man is, Lutsker is a very straight shooter. Really surprised that Corey went for that bank on the 1.
Well, like we said, he had so many options to choose from.
Well, it was one thing if he's guaranteed to get the snooker. That's okay. But with today's jump cues even.
Well, once again, he's just weighing the percentage.
Yeah,
the success percentage.
Decision making.
Yeah. That's what the pros usually do on every shot.
Big part of the game.
Yeah. And if the safety favors more, then you go for the safety.
Right. But, professional sports, especially professional pool, you play for a little more guarantees. And I think the cue ball behind the 6 earlier on the 1 ball for Corey Deuel was definitely a lot more guaranteed than the bank shot. Especially with the new cloth, the banks are tough to judge. We haven't seen many made these 3 days.
Well, I think as long as you manage to memorize that, you could ask Corey later if he feels like talking about this one.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk about it.
It is going to be interesting to know, like to get into
Oh,
players'
I don't know.
mind just a little.
I don't know if that's so great there. He got a little flat on the 7. You can tell he's got a little bit of angle, but again, this is a shot where it looks like he has to use some side spin and elevate. So he's going to have to use force here. Doesn't want to catch the point. Definitely doesn't want to. He may be bridging oddly over this side pocket. And again, good thing the 9 is pretty handy.
And good thing the way I playing on a diamond, because on some other tables, like probably old models, the pockets.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
they
there's
stick-
a
they-
little
they-
elevation.
Yeah, they elevate. They stick out of the rail.
Right. They're not as flush. Okay, so he's got to worry about the scratch up in the corner here as well. Oh, wow. Wow, catching the point. Yeah. But he hit the 8 well, and he was avoiding the scratch in the corner with a little bit of inside English, so would have been a little more unlucky. We're going to get a look at this. Nice cut on the 8 and then the cue ball just barely catching the point.
Oh, you see some emotions in the Russian team.
Yeah, but he was happy on the cut on the 8, so that would have been pretty unlucky from that angle to scratch in the side pocket. I got to give Andre some credit
Well,
there.
actually, from my experience, only the cue ball can go into the pocket from
Right,
some funny angles for any weird reason.
Oh, the cue like there. Wow. Horrible kiss. 2 or 3 kisses on the cue ball there. Oh, did the 1 get married to the 8 to where he cannot play offensively? There's 1 kiss. Watch the second kiss. Boom.
Yeah.
Right there. Now, I think the 1 ball came down and froze on the 8 ball. And the 3's in the way. So interesting to see if he can play
Yes,
a 1-3 combination.
The one would have been available to the right corner.
If the 3 was, I don't know if it would have or not. It's close.
Well, the combo is on probably. But the
Well,
cue
I
ball,
like the combo myself, just because it's pretty easy, and I really hate to let my opponent back at the table in such a situation. So,
is that a free-fall situation they're trying to create?
well, it's a very difficult situation to
Maybe
3 foul.
trying to drive the 1 towards the 1-9.
The 9?
Yeah.
Maybe, but you're not going to cut off every rail. That's the problem. So if the 1-3 goes here, I'm shooting the 1-3. Yeah. I believe that was the correct shot.
Yeah, definitely.
And now he'll play this with some maximum side spin, trying to come right in between the middle and upper diamond on the side rail where he's standing. This is the type of shot where the side spin can get away from you. You can hit this a little thick. See how he kind of wobbled it in? And that's just not really from aiming badly. That's from actually not knowing the curve of the cue ball on such a slick table.
You don't think he made this intentionally?
No, I don't think.
Hitting that thick?
No.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't want to scare every Russian in Moscow. So now an angle on the 5 is necessary. You can see the 6 planted on the other side rail, Michael. So kind of where the cue ball's at now would be ideal. Or maybe even a little thinner on the 5 would be all right.
Just keeping enough angle here to go
Yeah.
across.
Now he's got to punch it a little bit, though. And the key here is to know it's going to move over to the other side of the table. Don't overhit this ball.
Well, actually, on these with these cushions and this brand new cloth, I think on a punch shot it is possible just to make it twice across. Actually,
Maybe, yeah.
for the players of this caliber, of course.
Right. And these young Russians taking full advantage of every opportunity.
Yeah, they are out shooting all barrels.
Right. Well, they're definitely more comfortable on the table, it looks like to me, as far as the conditions. Johan would say the material of the table. Now an easy 9-ball to take a 3-1 lead here in our second match on day 3.
So, yeah, once again, Team USA finds themselves trailing.
We talked about it yesterday and the day before that it doesn't appear any of the Russians will make the European Mosconi Cup team, but 5 out of these 8 Americans will. They'll be in London December 4th through the 7th at Alexandra Palace. That will be shown live on Sky Sports. Don't forget to tune in. And I think there's a lot of pressure there as far as on the American side. And I'm not talking about excuses at all. No, not by any means. There's no excuses in professional sports. That's
Well,
for sure.
after all, let's not forget that this is preparation.
Well, that's what I mean, though. There's guys out on this team. All of them are trying to make so they have eyes on them that are critics.
Yeah.
So not only with Johan and myself, but there's a lot of pressure trying to make that team. It's a dream of every American.
Yeah, sure.
So.
This is preparation, part of preparation. But
And our first dry break?
But this is not training, actually. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
There's pressure here in this event for sure.
The guys at the same time, they are competing for the place in the squad.
Absolutely.
In the final selection for the Mosconi Cup.
And this isn't, the Dream Challenge isn't the one that's going to make every decision, but it is a big decision. This is big information we're getting here.
Yeah, sure. Like Jeremy said, we've seen...
Great shot by Corey there.
We've just seen the first dry break of the day.
Now he needs to make sure of his work. He can just hold for the corner. There's nothing wrong with that. He could screw the cue ball back for the side.
That is what he is doing, I believe.
Oh, he kind of fell short. Oh, that's okay, but now he's got to think about the 9. So he's got to go by the 9 and back towards the 4. He may be able to roll it in and just go right towards the 9 right
sure.
here. Yeah, like right in there. But now the 5 to the 6. So there's things in this rack you have to pay attention to. I might go by the 9 and back up myself. Oh boy. That's all right. So now he needs to get out to the center of the table. He needs a nice angle on the 5 to come back to the easy side of the 6.
Well, I think even going just past the center of the table is okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's not a ton of angle, and now he's over the 8, and corner to corner, you're a little more stretched. So you have to be very aware of those type of things.
Well, you see, this is what I was talking about, just go farther.
Right.
Slightly farther was better than just finishing
Right,
short. Finishing
that's what
short,
I say,
yeah.
quite a bit of angle. Yeah, you want quite a bit of angle there. And I'll tell you, he's got him in a funny position. I might take my extension here, no matter what. Oh, he did already. Okay. Nice shot, Corey. And Corey looks very comfortable overall. He may play short side on the 8 here, just following the ball to the short side. It's up to him. Kind of preference here if you want to draw. I kind of like the follow. Oh, that might be on top of the 8. Oof. A little punchy there. Now he's gotten a little bit funny. He's just going to slowly hold it.
Yeah, using the rail,
Yeah,
the
nice
side
shot,
rail,
nice
very
shot.
good.
That was a
Straight in
little
on the 9.
touchier than it looked, though. Okay, and great shooting there by the Americans. A couple of nice shots without the best of positions. But again, in a position to where they're going to have to... No, that was a dry break by the Euros. So they can break here, break and run, and get square things up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, right.
That was our first dry break of day 3. I think Corey, regardless of what the rack looks like, should stay on that side rail. I mean, we've played now 5 games here and 6 games in the last, and we've had 10 out of 11 where they've made a ball on the break from that left side rail. So I don't think any time to change now. There's that corner ball. And Corey's really smashing them. I'll tell you, what's the 4 going to do?
And he is using his playing cue to break.
Yeah, and he's done that for quite some time, for the most part. I'm not sure if the 4... Yeah, I think the 4 may have caused some problems here for the Americans. Can he play the 1 off the 6? Is the 1 off the 6 playable? We'll get an overhead
I think
view.
we need an overhead
No,
view.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. It's definitely not playable.
Yeah, sure.
I think he can bank this around and shove the cue ball forward underneath the 4-6.
But he's playing it.
No,
No,
he's trying to
duck.
snooker him. And it's not going to get there. Oh, a friendly kiss. Is it going to get there? I think it may have gotten him just enough.
Well, that's a pretty easy jump.
Yeah,
you
but
want
the
it.
2 ball's all the way back down. So,
Or just kick it using the handrail.
well, if it's just a little bit, I might say it, just a subtle little curve, and take my medicine on the 2, whether that be a play of safety. If they can get the 1 down, they're going to have a big advantage if they can see the 2, because they'll be able to play safe behind the 4-6 some type of way, most likely.
Oh, watch out the side. Pretty done, yeah.
Yeah, he should be able to bank this 2 right up by the 7. That's the key. You have both here. You have a 2-way as far as safety. You put the 2 locked up on the 7. Cue ball, just go ahead and let it run into the 6. The key is here, don't try to just float behind the 6, and then you leave the 2 over the side. If you don't get the snooker, you have problems. So you're better off.
That's a natural path for the cue ball.
Yeah, but you're better off letting the 2 go
to get
past.
to the 6, yeah.
Yeah, but go into the 6 is the key. Don't try and just float. See, the 2 didn't go anywhere, and now the cue ball leaks out, and you could have left a shot. Better off to play the 2 past the side, up by the 7, and go into the bottom of the 6. He didn't really leave offensive, but you know if the 2 would have gone just, 3 or 4 more inches? He may have a cross-side bank here, though.
Well, anyway, right now, Team USA has any part of the 2 ball to deal with.
Well, and it's kind of difficult with the side pocket there, trying to get the cue ball back behind the 4.
What about just cutting it to the left and once again trying to bring the cue ball behind the 4 and 6?
Yeah, well, I like that, but the problem is you might be shooting the 2 into one of those points on the side pocket, and it may come back towards the cue ball. So this is a little bit touchy. That's why you see him elevating. He's trying to drive the 2. Oh, he's banking it. Oh, wow. He was trying to drive the 2 up table and get back behind. He didn't expect, but good thing it went in because he didn't hide the cue ball.
You got 20 seconds.
Okay, this is another one where I might bank the 3 down by the 6 and try and play the cue ball behind the 7, leaving a tough combination. He's kicking it. Okay. Speed is not the best. Yeah.
So an easy safety in response
Yeah,
is available to Team Russia.
I think you're going to see him go offensive because you can go all the way down table with the cue ball and still have position on the 4. So,
Just don't stretch.
yeah. tell you, this Sergey,
Sergey, right?
going to be really tough when his game matures a little bit because he sure is a straight shooter. A little off angle here, though.
Once again, going 2 rails around.
Yeah, but it's not easy. This is a little flat, so this has got to be hit pure. I may come a little longer up by the side pocket rather than trying to come tight.
Andrew is very good at these powerful strokes, yeah.
Right. Well, I haven't seen much he's not good at.
Well, once again, he has been practicing this a lot. And I think he feels kind of comfortable when shooting with power.
I'm surprised he went inside English there.
Taking his time for this one.
Yeah, pretty routine 7 and 9 here to take a 4-2 lead. Wow, got a lot of that one. Got a lot of that one, and got a little steep on this 9.
He ended up short, actually.
No, I don't think he was trying to come across.
Really?
No, I think he
looked as if.
Yeah, I think it kind of went off in his hand a little bit is all. I don't think he would cross the line on position there. You can make the 9 from middle of the table easily. So momentum building here for the Russians.
Well, we've got several questions there on the chat about the racking, like why don't they use the magic rack? Well, you know, guys, at the Mosconi Cup, there will no be the magic rack either. So just that's the reason, the main reason.
Yeah, and I hate to say, I mean, magic rack, it's not a bad product, but I think it's really for amateur pool.
Well, we're not talking about a magic rack necessarily, but all these racking templates.
Yeah, templates. Yeah, it's just basically is what we're talking about. Not one specific template or another, but in my opinion, I think it's just makes the game a little too easy at this level.
And in the end, it kind of kills the game, actually.
Right. You don't get to see, but maybe 40% of the game, 50% of the entire game of 9-ball.
Sure, after all, with the magic rack, you have the break almost guaranteed.
Right. You notice how many different positions, sometimes the ones being made on the break, sometimes, you know, there's so many different variations we've seen in just a short 3-day match. And that's the beauty of the game. There's supposed to be a lot of variation.
That was a great effort here with this break, but the 4-ball ended up kind of funny.
It's not too bad considering the 6 is very accessible, but the 3 is a little bit off angle. So he can't easily go forward with the 9 there, and he's going to have to power up and probably draw this cue ball 1 rail back. All right, he's going forward, I think, or maybe just 1 rail cross. Okay, great shot. Great shot there. Just really a pretty simple 6-ball 7 and 9 to take a two match lead here in our race to 9. That's 7-5. And really, with Fedor coming up next, you have one of your powerhouse players for the Russian team on deck.
So it looks like 2-point lead for Team Russia in a race to 9 overall. And it's there. Well, guys, it's 5-7 in favor of Team Russia, and right now we are going to have a 10-minute break, so please stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
10 minutes break. Перерыв 10 минут.
Просто мне кажется, если ты больше понимаешь, что посмотреть, потом сложнее плавно возвращаешь не плавно, она рассыпается. Поэтому прям получаться будет побольше времени уделяем. Ну, как бы, если будет херово, лучше ты поставишь нижнюю стопку, чем поставишь с большим забором. Нужно разлиться с ней здесь.
We start in 2 minutes. Начинаем через 2 минуты. Mikhail Kablukov, Jeremy Jones. We are ready to start. Johnson. Dream Challenge 2018, the hottest final day. So let's greet our participants. Single match. Fedor Gorst, Team Russia. Styer, Team USA. Guys, good luck.
Once again, it's interesting whether Team USA wins the leg one more time, and looks like so. What do you think of that, Jeremy?
Yeah, pretty impressive. Two good lags by both players. I mean, you wouldn't call this a must-win, obviously, but...
Well, usually you are supposed to win this because, for instance, at straight pool, you can easily lose a match because of losing a leg shot.
Right. Well, you know, 9-ball pool... you can do a lot of things well. You can actually outplay your opponent as far as mistakes and still lose the match, especially in a race to 5. But definitely, if they both play a perfect match, you like the guy who wins the leg.
Well, of course, I think it's always good to be breaking on the hill.
Oh, absolutely. Breaking first, too. You get to apply the pressure. So. Styer, who's another Mosconi Cup hopeful. looking to make his place in London this December 4th through the 7th at Alexandra Palace. And Tyler, I talked to him before the match, of course, before today's play started, and he said he's felt the most comfortable today out of every day.
Nice to hear that.
Yeah, and he did that on a match yesterday where he took a lot of speed off and cut him, where I'm really shocked because if you're watching the matches, you can see the power break hitting the ball head on has been very successful. You'll notice the one ending up on the end rail, so even if he would have made a ball, other than the one.
And Tyler's break shot is one of the best we've seen so far during these 3 days.
Right.
So did you manage to ask Corey about his shot selection?
I did. He came up and asked me, actually, what do you think, Jeremy, about my play? And I said, I thought you looked great cueing the ball. I thought you were very comfortable, but I'm going to be honest as far as the decision on the bank. And we talked about it. And, you know, he heard what I had to say, and I heard what he had to say. I think that you got to just weigh the two options. And him being such an experienced player, I think same situation comes up, I think he'll bury him behind the 6. Now, this is a touchy safety because it's very difficult to go in between the 8 and 3, and in the 6, that's where he wants to run the cue ball behind that big wall right there. The one's gotten away from him, though. And that's, again, from the application of side spin. The cue ball putting the left, deflected to the right a little more, catching the one much thicker, sending the one up table. You know he wanted to put the one on the side rail.
I don't think the combo, the 3-ball combo is available.
He's got an easy safety, though. Easy safety, just nipping the one.
Yeah, barely touching the one.
Yeah, he's going to shoot at the combo. No, I don't blame him because he can't eliminate the kick shot.
Well, it looks being so off-angled.
Yeah, but that's okay. He doesn't have to catch much of the 5.
Yeah, he just changed his decision.
Well, the problem here is if you don't eliminate the kick, now the 1 is very makeable off the 7, and that's the reason why I may have went ahead and played the 3-ball combination, yeah.
Yeah, probably just taking care to move the cue ball closer to the corner pocket.
Yeah, there's about 5 different ways you can make this 1 off the 7. You can catch 2 rails first heavy, you can catch 2 rails first thin, you can catch it straight into the ball. So the good thing if you're an American, and I'm pulling for these Americans, is the 2's pinned on the back rail, so the cue ball should come towards him.
Well, good news for Team USA here is that where the 2 ball is located.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, good thing the cue ball will be going up table. At least you don't figure him to run out from here. But that's a little bit of experience. Maybe got the best of Tyler in that situation. You had to realize that the 1 was going to be very makeable the way the 7 laid over the side. Okay, this is not easy. He's probably going to use... Okay, he's let one go again now. He may be fortunate.
And he is.
And that's two of them that really were mishits by Fedor in this opening game.
And now he's going to face...
another one where he has to play safe, I believe.
The toughest shot of the reg so far is trying to pocket the 3-ball. Past the 5, if it even goes.
I don't think it goes anywhere. I don't think he has a pocket.
He does not, yeah.
But he does have some options. He can nip the 3.
Oh, the 8-ball comes into play right now, and once again, well, Fedor looks a little bit rusty, I would say, on his safety play so far.
Well, he's mishit a couple, but that's probably some nerves. Sometimes... You know, your team wins a couple matches that actually almost puts a lot of more pressure on you that you can not seal the deal in the match by getting up 8-5 here, but it's tough to play from ahead and behind, believe it or not. Okay, he's going to probably try to make this cross side, sending the cue ball towards the 7, maybe leaving some distance if he misses. He double kissed it. Is it going to help? Looks like the 3's going to get to the back rail.
Yeah, looks like so.
Yep. So we'll see now. Fedor has to make another choice.
Yeah, once again, this shot looks pretty similar to the one he made on the 2-ball.
I might kick behind this one and kick it by the 6 and then down table. I think there's a lot more room for error there. I think with the 7 covering up the pocket also, I think it's a little harder to sell out. He's going to try and dive the cue ball behind the 4-7, and that's tough. Oh no, he's chipping it. He's going for the ultimate safety, and it looks like
And
he hit it
behind
well.
the 7.
Looks like he hit it well. Nope, it leaked out.
Well, you can't blame him for this attempt. It was pretty
Well,
good one.
It was. Oh no, he got him. He snookered him. But that was also, I think the shot clock got to him there. That was, there wasn't a whole lot of room to bury the cue ball there, and you knew the 3 was coming to an open side of the table, so a great shot, but I think a little fortunate as well.
He gambled. I mean, Fedor gambled with this one a little bit.
Yeah, and that's part of the game, that's for sure. You have to take chances. Okay, he needs a friendly kiss on the 3. Is it going to tie up on the 7? I think this got funny. Now the safety looks very easy. Oh no, he can make a carom shot very easy, yeah. And send the 3 into a nice place. Now one thing Tyler did do is he knocked the 5 into a tough place.
I think it was Phil Capel mentioning yesterday that this shot is not a carom but a billiard.
Well, I guess in Texas I'm a little closer to Mexico. So they, carom shot, billiard shot. One mark against me for not being proper.
Well, just I think his point was that a billiard is when the cue ball is involved, and the carom is like when you are driving one object ball into the other.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's the difference, according to Phil.
Well,
Once again, go and check.
What is a combination shot then?
Well, go and check a special running. I think it's the last day a special on his Play Your Best pool book, the one we got translated recently.
Okay, he's got to make a decision here whether to play the combination or trying to come short side on the 5. The 5 does not pass the 9, so if he comes to the short side, he'll have to play either for the upper corner or the side pocket. So a little bit of a gamble here. If he ends up odd angle on the rail like this, things become difficult. Now he's going to have to play this in the corner, I believe. What about the 9? Ooh. Nice kiss on the 9 ball.
Yeah, he hit it with enough pace just to drive the 9 ball out of the way.
Yeah, hitting the 9 at that speed would have been very unfortunate to get snookered. You would have had to double kiss it and send the 9 up the rail, blocking the 6.
Oh, sometimes it happens just that. That's the nature of the game.
Now again, with the Americans winning the lag and what looks to be losing the first game while breaking up against it, has to wait. They have to wait on another mistake by the Russians.
Yeah, that's just the way it is in tennis. Like that's a break of serve.
Right.
For Team Russia.
And the way the table's breaking, it's huge. We've had now 3 dry breaks, I think, overall, but for the most part, the table's breaking great. We've had 1 9 on the break today. Has that 1 in each of the first 3 days, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, with this streaming and with the whole event idea, ABN Billiards is trying to send a message to the promoters worldwide. So just guys, feel free to adopt this kind of format and just invite some other teams to play on the national level.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe USA versus Canada is a good thing to start with.
Well, there's Canada has a lot of great players.
And of course, Europe.
I think team sports, as far as it's an individual game as a whole, but I think the team aspect is a great would be a great part of the game as well. I don't think you're going to see Fedor back off the break at all. I don't think you'll see him cut him. Real square, breaks the balls great. 10 ball as well. Oh, he did cut him. I don't know if it was intentional.
By mistake, I think.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Now he's not going to punish him. He's got a 1-8 billiard shot if he wants.
They Europeans use the cut break nowadays. Only during Euro Tour because the racket is shifted. And just the way Johan told them and was teaching them that it's completely different. That's a cut break.
Now the 1-8, the problem with the 1-8 combination is he can avoid the scratch, but what if he scratches off the 4? And that's the problem. If the 4 wasn't there, he could go to the rail very easily. But now, if he hits it too thin, he could naturally go into the corner pocket. If he hits it a hair thick, he could scratch off the 4. So a little touchy here. Oh, he played the carom. Oh, wow. He tried to play them both. I think that was playing both.
Maybe he only played the one?
Nah, I think he tried to play both. I think he had an opportunity for both. But he definitely played the one, I think, and a great shot.
Brutal game gear is what it says on Shane McMinn's shirt, and that's just the way we see it right now.
That's right.
Just being a little bit brutal on Team USA.
Yeah, that's brutal is a word we use a lot in the pool room back home, or the pool world. Now this is a thin cut, so the cue ball will have a lot of speed, probably going in the direction of the 7. I'm not so sure if Fedor, even though a great shot on the 1 there, I'm not so sure he's totally comfortable like we've seen in the last 2 days. But he'll hit this with not any side spin at all, just a natural cut, take his chances on the cue ball. Uh-oh.
The stretch is on.
Yeah, and that's what happens, and it's a little unfortunate, but he had to turn it loose. That's taking that chance, and it bit him that time. So really an pretty easy 5 ball out here with ball in hand.
A nice chance for Tyler to catch up with Fedor.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him get out here for sure, of course, but I'd like to see what he does on his next break. If I could get it in his ear, I would go, hey, do what you do best, and that's hit the balls square and firm. Okay, so he'll just kind of stop his ball right there for a little bit of an angle on the 8. That way he can go to the side rail and make sure he gets off the rail with the cue ball, shooting the 9.
And made very smooth contact with the cue ball on his shot on the 6.
Using the side rail and purposely there, just to hold the cue ball.
Do you roll it in generally, or just punch it?
Not punch, but just nice and downward strike a little bit clean. Not punch. Punch means a little more force. This is just like...
just like this one.
Yeah, but I don't think that was totally necessary. Just a little lighter, I would have hit the ball probably, but...
You rarely see them pros like rolling.
No.
Probably they just fear of skidding or like...
Well, no, the roll, you want to be... you're in control of things whenever you have a little bit of speed on it, Amateurs, a lot of times they make a beautiful run out and they get to the 9 and they want to ease it in to try and make the pocket bigger.
Yeah, that's the point.
Instead of knowing they have command of the stroke a lot more with a nice medium stroke. So I preach that to a lot of players back home. One big difference between one level to the next is confidence. So it's probably the biggest word in a lot of sports is confidence. I'm sure that
So just look once again at this nasty scratch.
Yeah, it was nasty. I wonder if one of the Americans may have mentioned to Tyler, hey, go ahead and break them. Oh, you can see the one ball moving off the rack a little bit, though, so the referee will take care of that. We had a couple issues with some racks earlier in the match. Nothing intentional, of course, but they cleaned that up.
Looked good enough to me. Don't know what he didn't like there. The one didn't move at all on his second attempt.
Pool is a brutal game. We saw that scratch again. I don't think Tyler's totally happy with the rack, but
But you know, in Europe, and get ready for this one during your Euro Tour experience, you are only allowed to ask for a re-rack once, and after that, you have to accept it.
You mean once per game or once a match?
Once per game.
Wow.
So there is no time wasting around the rack, actually.
Right. Well, in sports, you know, the referees, they're involved for a reason, and sometimes things happen. You know, it's just like in other sports, they make a bad call, it happens. You know, pool, it's the same thing. You know, it's just.
Well,
you
Tyler,
play long enough, it's going to happen for you, and it's going to happen against you. So.
Yeah, Tyler losing the cue ball on his break,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Now you can see just coming across, he wants to get nice and full on the 3-ball. You can see the 4 in the middle of the table. And Fedor, not only for his age, he's such an efficient player also. Got to see him play last year. I got to commentate his matches in the Bigfoot Challenge at the Derby. And he was very impressive as far as his ability at the table and his decision making.
Well, playing on Bigfoot can be quite intimidating.
Oh, absolutely, especially with the listed players. There wasn't a short stop in the list, so some may have said that Fedor may have been the, you know, got the smallest resume probably out of all of them. So he's got to make a decision here, even though the 7-8, you can do a number of things as far as playing positions. So he'll address the 6 how he wants to get on the 7. Probably
just going one rail.
One rail, yeah. There's not really a bad angle on the 7, to be honest with you.
And drifting along the position zone.
Yeah, coming right towards the 7. It's always nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Key to this is don't underhit. Some people back off of that shot and they end up by the head string, you know. They just kind of, I can shoot from anywhere. Key is go ahead and be aggressive with your stroke and come down towards the table. You got 8 feet. So.
It's kind of weird. Fedor still doesn't have a proper nickname back over there. My version is like the Killer Ghost.
Well, sometimes it takes an event to produce a nickname. And he certainly hasn't probably come across as big as events in his life. He's going to have plenty of titles, you would think. Plenty of situations to shine. And now up 2-1 and another service break. So he'll be breaking in game 4. We have another doubles match coming up. Thorpe and Woodward against Lutsker and
the only female player on both teams, Christina Tkach.
Right, Tkach.
Yeah.
My Russian's getting better every day.
How many words have you learned so far?
Well, let's not go that far.
Just
maybe.
Go ahead.
No. And then now
like spasiba.
Yeah. That's thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
A few. Diet. Niet. That's easy, right? No.
Yeah.
Da. Yes.
Yeah,
right?
I think niet is the first word you are going to learn.
Well, you hear it
in the Philippines, in Manila, for instance. like going like and saying "niet" in local in Tagalog to all these watch promoters and just fake Viagra, whatever.
Now he pulled the cue ball out a little bit, which is interesting. Hard to. They must be really surveying the rack and trying to go play off of information, because if you look at the results today, oh wow, cue ball, wow.
What about Darth Fedor?
Hey, that's
from Star Wars, kind of.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, and really fortunate here with the cue ball. Just and that's how pool is. You saw when Tyler broke, it went off in the side, and that cue ball caught both points on that right side pocket. So. Okay, he's going to remove the 7, knocking it down to the bottom rail on the push out. Probably leave it. Oh, he's just following the cue ball quite a ways. Trying to create some congestion, because you know anytime you roll out in professional pool, you take the worst of it. Now with the 2 on the side rail, you could take a chance trying to chip this on the left side and come down 2 rails and try and get behind that 7, 7-6 and all that. Especially with the 4 there as well. I think that's okay. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth a try. Because you see the 2 planted on the left side rail. Well, instead of using his extension, he decided to pass the shot. And the reason is, even if you leave a shot, most likely it's going to be pretty long and straight on the 1. If you chip the left side of the 1 and run the cue ball 2 rails trying to come behind the 7.
Well, just the one option I see here is trying to use the 4 ball. Just to go on top of it.
Yeah, that's okay. I really like taking a chance at trying to bury him behind the 7 here, and knowing that the 2s are really tough. And if you do leave him, you notice the way the angles are, it's got to be straight if you leave him. So, again, this ball got away from him badly. Oh, wow. But still, I think it was a hard one for Tyler to pass. I think the way the situation is, you got to try and hit the ball well.
Now he's going to jump over the 5, taking his time extension.
Yeah, I don't know if I would try to make this. I think I'm trying to jump this and bank it around 2 rails towards the 7, hoping for some distance. Because with the jump cue, you don't figure to make it, right? And position across the table is almost impossible, unless you really, really kind of warp it in.
Well, so far it looks like Fedor got all the rolls in this rack.
Yeah, a little bit. Wow, what a shot. He could see the 1. But still, that was another key in taking on the rollout. Is if you do leave a shot, your opponent has to come with one heck of a shot, and Tyler Styer did. So this is very essential to get the 2 underneath the 7 here, because you don't have many blockers with the cue ball. I know you're going to try and come back behind the 4. Look at this shot.
Oh, he still jumped over the 5, over the edge.
Maybe
of
an
the ball.
edge, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's gotten away from him a little bit, but definitely the way the shot was, and Fedor's got an option at trying to billiard the 3 in. Tell you one thing about the billiard, though, with all the cluster there, you may not escape with the cue ball. He could easily hook him behind the 7-5, I believe, if he just kind of hit 2/3 of the 2 ball.
Well, in case of a billiard, I think he should go 2 ball rail first and then into the 3.
Well, he's going to hit it with. He's going to catch a full hit, so this is going to have a lot of speed. See, but that's the problem. If this 2 catches the 4, he could trap himself.
Yeah, he's hooked now.
Yeah, and that's. I think with the option of the safety there, that was pretty doable. Wow, Fedor has been. He hasn't made every jump shot, but he's done pretty well with them. He's going to kick across the table. Okay. The reason why he's kicking across the table is he doesn't really see a pocket offensively for the 2 with the jump. Okay, where's the 2 going to end up?
Well, right in his luck.
And he's tied up to 6-7 unless it goes in the corner. I don't think so, though. It looks a little off angle.
Well, it could it be manufactured? No.
Well, with the 5 there, you figure if whoever gets through the shot first will be able to break that, maybe.
I mean, just trying to throw the ball after all.
Maybe. Well, there's a little gap. You may be able to cut it. Watch out for leaving the 2-9.
Nice safety.
Now Fedor's going to have to kick across the table again.
And I don't think the 2-rail option, the 2-rail kick option is
with
on.
the 4 there, right?
Yeah, right.
He's going to have to kick 1 rail across, I believe. I'll tell you what, if he goes 2 rails and hits this, it looks like he can only hit the top, so I think the 9 is maybe doable. He caught the 4, yeah. Good call, Michael. And I think Tyler should shoot this 2-9 combination.
Yeah, sure.
The pocket is very big, even though he's got to cut the 2 quite a ways. Now the problem with this is, watch for the double kiss. What's the cue ball going to do? What's the 2 ball going to do going back into the cue ball?
Well, with ball in hand, he can just manufacture the angle. And
but you don't want to make it too off angle, you know, then you could miss it, you think. I mean, sometimes you got to take the chance here, but I've seen this before a bunch of times where you get kissed right back in. Now, if he eases it, nice shot.
Well, it is 2 apiece right now in a race to 5.
And I think a few decisions by Fedor cost him a couple situations, maybe not games necessarily, because you never know what's going to happen. He took a mild speed here. That was the key. You'll notice the 2's coming back into the cue ball, and you see how it can kiss it back towards that side pocket. So nice playing it with a lighter speed, being very conscious that the 2's going to come back into the cue ball. And I'll tell you what, if you like cue sports, I couldn't imagine a better place in all of Russia to play other than ABN Billiards here.
Yeah, thank you for the plug, Jeremy.
Yeah, Vladimir has put together an incredible place.
Oh,
and free pool, right? Free pool, right? You don't even pay no matter what you want to play.
Well, you still kind of expected to spend the same amount you would have spent in any other place, but you get some cuisine in return.
Oh yeah, but the food is incredible.
Or coffee, yeah.
Yeah, the food is incredible. The people are very pleasant.
That was the main point.
Yeah, we had a long discussion our first night here. We went to dinner with Vladimir, and he and I had a discussion about what he's trying to do
and
for
Russia.
Pocket billiards. So.
This play just shows how much Vladimir loves this game.
Right. Okay, he's got an issue with the 7-8. If whoever gets to that 7-8, which Tyler's starting off with a nice opening shot on the 1. Very clear, and the 2 very open. And he went back to the side rail with a nice flush break. I think that's the 1. Okay, so drawing the cue ball on this table we've seen is not a problem. The main thing is keeping control of the draw. Okay, nice shot there. You'll see the 7 is not very playable, so, and it's not easy to really like shoot the 4 and break the 7-8 out and gain position on the 6. So even though we're not only on the 2 ball, got to have some thought of that 4 ball later in the rack. Excuse me, that 7-8 later in the rack. Gotten long.
He could try to develop the 7 off the 4.
Yeah, but getting back on the 6, you have to make sure everything's perfect for that. And not only that, you're getting on the 6 ball to where you don't know exactly where the 7's going to open up at. So.
Well, we know that cue sports is a game of perfection. Almost on every shot.
Yeah, and it's believe it or not, it's a lot of game of misses as well. Like there's areas you play a little safer, a little more guarantees at times. So
Everyone misses, like they say.
yeah, absolutely. Now he's just going to try and stun forward just a little bit. Now he's going to, I think,
I like that.
I think he's going to try and catch the edge of the 7 and come 2 rails out, kind of like a high right English maybe. Now the problem is he's going to be stretched.
And just don't make the contact on the 7 too thick.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't think he can put a whole lot of right. Yeah, he can't be thick. Can't put a whole lot of right. He might go right by the 7. Okay, nice shot.
Just like that.
Yeah.
That's a very skilled shot.
Perfect speed. Now, it looks like to me from him pointing at the table, he's going to hit right before the side with a little left English and drop down in between the 7-8. Is that what it looks like, Michael? There's a nice path coming right across the spot, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Just past the 7. He's okay. Looks like going ahead for the first time in this match. Our third match of the evening.
Yeah, not a must-win, but one you would think is definitely needed for the Americans. And a nice out here in Game 5 by Tyler Styer.
Oh, frankly, I don't know, Jeremy, if the format allows any timeouts, but I think it is supposed to. And if timeouts are allowed, I'm surprised nobody just took a timeout so far. I mean, during all these days.
I don't recall any timeouts. No. I
Well,
played.
in a race to 5, that would be probably a little bit over the top.
Well,
But just to unsettle your opponent, why not?
well, I know in the.
Once again, you mentioned you have to use your timeout.
Oh, I think there's always a place. Yeah.
Whether you need it or not.
Right. Well, there's there's a little bit of gamesmanship in the timeouts, whether you need
sure.
it or maybe you want to put your opponent on the cooker a little bit.
Yeah, you can take the timeout for yourself or just,
psychologically.
Or just against your opponent.
Right. If he makes a mistake, sometimes you get out, you take a timeout, let him think about his mistake for a while. Some guys don't handle it.
Come on, don't give out all the secrets,
Wow. Well, like the Mosconi Cup, if you needed a timeout, it was usually like a restroom, because your nerves get going, the flow and everything. You had to wait for a commercial, and then you had to run to the restroom and run back. So there was no actual timeouts involved as far as official timeouts. Now Fedor almost losing the cue ball on the side on the last break. I really believe, especially, some guys rack the balls like they play rack your own and they know there's a gap there and they don't intentionally try to make the gap, but they know the gap produces a corner ball or something. But with the ref, got a couple kisses on the cue ball, a third kiss.
Yeah, speaking of a ref, Jeremy, I think you were involved in one funny situation during the Kremlin Cup, where you asked the ref to clean the cue ball. So just to go ahead, what happened next?
Oh yeah, it was me and Sergey.
Yeah.
And I asked him if I could get the cue ball, if I could clean the cue ball, and he asked me to get the referee. I said no problem, and the referee is Russian, so I asked him to ask the referee for me.
She showed the pretty clear gesture to have the cue ball cleaned.
Yeah. No, actually, Sergey, I asked him to ask the ref in Russian to clean the cue ball. Yep. And so he said sure, and the referee, without putting any mark down on the table, nothing, he just grabbed the cue ball off the table. And I of course, went, whoa, 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 you know, and then he put it back down a couple inches away from where it actually started, but I was okay with that. But then he got his marker out, and when he used the marker, he picked up the cue ball and he slid the marker under, like 3 inches over underneath from where it was.
Well,
it was a situation I'd never seen before.
Yeah, that's very funny. But you know what? The first time I have ever seen the situation where the referee grabs the cue ball without any marking was from one of the tournaments in the USA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before that I can recall.
I think that was pretty famous over the internet.
Was it the U.S. Open that happened?
Don't think so.
No?
But well, I'm not sure whether it was John Layton or not.
Oh,
but
okay.
Probably.
Wow.
It might have been during one of the straight pull tournaments.
Okay, and here you bring it up and look what's happening. That's amazing. Okay, I'm not sure why he wants the cue ball cleaned. I guess maybe he's going to attack this cut shot. Now see if he holds the. There you go. You put your fingers on top of the marker before.
Oh, sometimes it's not that easy to deal with with your gloves on. Believe me, because I've been
slick,
there.
right?
I've been there as well. Yeah,
Right.
acting as a referee.
Michael, you've done it all, huh?
Yeah, and you don't know all the parts.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just try to keep it secret and tell it to you like privately.
Personally, yeah.
Yeah, personally.
Okay, nice shot there. Throwing that 3-ball in with an outside English.
Looks like we've got many top pros online. Once again, I think I've seen Justin Bergman mentioned and Chris Melling of England.
Yeah. All the guys are interested in, you know.
Well, hello,
that's
everyone.
One thing that, you know, pool is a tough profession.
But it's a great community.
Yeah, great people. I wouldn't change it for anything, but the love of the game. And it's never the same. You're very, very much on top of the world one day and then under the rug the next. So I think these guys are as interested in other people's games and the pressure. They want to see what happens under pressure at the highest level. I think we're heading towards a hill-hill match here, though, Michael.
Hopefully. I think the audience just loves all these double heel situations.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where the nerves sometimes really get on you, and these kind of situations are where a player shows real heart.
Absolutely, and what you realize in time is whether you're playing a race to 9 or a race to 5 or whatever it may be, most likely it's going to be 3-1. Most likely somebody's going to be ahead 3-1. It's not always going to be 1-1, 2-2, and all that. You have to realize those situations have to be dealt with. Just like you're ahead 3-1, you play the same as if you're behind 3-1. And now at 3 apiece.
By the way, I think there are some players that like chasing more than being in the lead.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, normally in any kind of sport, I believe it is easier.
Well,
because you can kind of see a goal.
Yeah, and there's, you know, I don't know. I personally like being in the lead.
Yeah, but I mean to say that as
there's satisfaction in coming.
Yeah, what I am driving at is that when the guy being in the lead just feels the heat from behind. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
He might start being too nervous or making mistakes.
Absolutely, they feel like, oh, I have my chance to win. One mistake's going to cost me. So I traditionally, as a start in my career, was a very slow starter in matches. Maybe because I was an action player for a long time before I started playing professional tournaments. And
gambling and tournament play are completely different.
Right. Okay, he's made the 1 on the side, almost the 9 in the corner. Now the 2's going to get down, I think, but is the 7 in the way? It appears so.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Maybe if the 2 got all the way down, though, you may be able to have a pretty routine jump shot. No, that's not routine at all. There's 7 is further distance away from the cue ball than it is from the 2, so not easy.
There's a 1 rail kick. Just try to avoid the 4 then.
Yeah, you mean like sending the cue ball up table and maybe crossing over the 2, or trying to make the 2? Trying to make the 2 is possible, but difficult.
Just going for safety.
Right.
Just once again a full ball hit on the 2.
Yeah, but this slick table, I think the cue ball may go into the 4, so we'll see.
Well, I was thinking about trying to reposition the 2 actually.
Right, on the back rail, right?
Yeah.
But then also, if it comes across too much, you may leave a billiard shot on the 9. So a difficult situation here. One thing we haven't seen on the rollout is the guys tying balls up. Now, maybe it hasn't been too available, but when you're in a bad situation, you always want to try to lengthen the game.
Yeah, and actually that's the thing you see many top players do pretty often. Like they pick some later balls in the rack, like 7 or maybe 8 or 6, and
Right.
so, yeah.
Right. You always want to lengthen the game no matter what it is, whenever you have the worst of it. Okay, he's shooting your shot. Oh, he's making it. Wow, what a shot. Now is the 4 going to get in the way of the 3?
That's a great one.
Yeah, and it sure did. That's pretty unlucky considering the shot he just made on the 2 ball.
Well, go figure, we have Evgeny Staliv online.
Oh, wow, that's one guy I wish I would have got to see on this trip. I really like Evgeny.
Have you ever faced him maybe at the Derby City?
No, but we've faced each other in the back room playing, yes.
Which game? One pocket?
One pocket, yeah. He loves one pocket.
What do you think about his skills at one pocket?
Oh, he's one of the most skillful players, period, in my opinion.
Rumor is he was considering going to the Derby City next
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see him. I know that. I really like the guy a lot. I always have. We first played in Cardiff, and I gave him 8-5. I think it was the first time he ever played one pocket. Within 2 days, I couldn't give him 9-7. It was amazing.
Well, I'm not sure whether he's been at the pool table recently. Definitely playing more pyramid.
Well, he owns a room here in Moscow.
Yeah. But it is mostly about like Russian billiards once again.
Right.
They've got a couple of I think
tables.
Brunswick table.
I'm not sure.
game.
I haven't been there.
No?
I planned on going, but I fell a little sick on this trip for a few days, so I was getting my rest. Okay, this is a 9-ball player shot coming off the end rail on a thin cut. The key here is don't let up on the stroke. Don't blast it, but just nice medium. Yeah, just like so. And he caught behind it. Now is this kiss on the 6 going to do him any nice things?
Did he catch it too thin?
No, he hit behind it. He hit rail first.
Well, I would say rail first on this kind of shot is way too thin.
Yeah. Well, and that's if he was put just a little bit of a mishit on the cue ball, half a tip, quarter of a tip, maybe it deflected on him a little bit. Now it looks like, I'm not sure if he's going for this or not. I think he is. Wow, great shot. And I tell you, I talked to Tyler before the match started today. Not this match, but the entire match. And like I said earlier, he felt like he felt better today than any other day. So, and he said he actually hit less balls because of it. The last 2 days he hit maybe too many balls because he wasn't feeling that great. And today, he didn't take near as much practice. So.
Feeling more confident?
Yeah, so. And making two really incredible shots in this game particularly. The one rail kick on the 2 to open this game. And then a tough 4 ball off the side rail that we just, tough 3 ball, excuse me, off the side rail that we just saw.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I mean, it looks like he's just straight drawing this ball out. Ooh.
Lost the cue ball completely.
Wow. unfortunate there.
I think Yevgeny Styer was ready to take 7-9 from you.
No, that was that. What do you mean? That was in what was that? 2005, I think, or 2004. No, he gets no handicap anymore, especially on this side of the world.
That gonna hurt definitely.
Tyler's got to remain focused, though, and wait for his opportunity. He's hitting the ball pretty nicely overall.
Well, Fedor is not quite precise enough here also, but he can just draw back.
Well, I don't think he's cued the ball totally sharp this match. We saw early in the first couple games of I'm sure you've been to the States many times?
Yes, never.
Never? Well, with your English, I figured you had to have been to the States. When are you coming?
Well, I wish maybe next year. Well, who knows?
Derby?
Yeah, looking forward to it actually.
Uh-oh, the cue ball. What's it gonna do? Okay, it's slowed down.
I think, my opinion, the Derby City is the event every pool fan or pool player should visit once or more.
Yeah, you get to see a variety of games. You get to see a lot of action matches.
Yeah, non-stop action.
Yeah, and 10 ball, the 10-foot table. So.
Yeah, you know, I've read so much about this event at AZ Billiards, forums. Well, right now I'm wearing the T-shirt reading AZ Billiards, and I would like to say thanks to Upstate L for posting, for plugging our event there in the live stream area. Thank you, L.
Yeah, we see a 9 ball that went down, trying to play safe, and he cut the 9 right in the pocket.
That's very fortunate for sure. All right, so that's it between Tyler and Fedor. Fedor wins, and we're going to have a 10-minute break to refresh, to make a fresh restart. So when you are back in 10 minutes, please do not forget to reload your pages, your Facebook, and just to restart the feed. Thank you.